Imagine you've just finished a brilliant Python project. It works perfectly on your laptop. But then you think, I want this on my Android phone. And my friend's iPad. Oh, and maybe that touchscreen kiosk in the lobby. Standard Python libraries like tkinter will usually hit a wall here. That is where Kivy comes in. Today, we are going from absolute zero to building cross-platform applications using the Kivy Framework. Whether you are a student, a hobbyist, or looking to break into mobile development with Python, this is your starting point. So, what is it? Kivy is a free, open-source Python library used for developing multi-touch application software. It was born in 2011 out of the PYMT project and has since grown into one of the most robust ways to ship Python code to mobile devices. The magic word with Kivy is cross-platform. We're talking Windows, macOS, Linux, Android, iOS, and even Raspberry Pi. You write your logic once, and Kivy handles the heavy lifting of making sure it renders correctly on different screen sizes and operating systems. Now, you might wonder, how does it look the same everywhere? Most frameworks use native widgets. If you make a button in tkinter on Windows, it looks like a Windows button. On Mac, it looks like a Mac button. Kivy is different. Kivy uses OpenGL ES too. Think of Kivy like a game engine. It doesn't ask the operating system for a button. It draws the button itself using your graphics card, the GPU. This makes the UI incredibly fluid, allows for custom shapes, and ensures your brand's look stays consistent across every single device. Kivy was built for the modern age of NUI, or natural user interfaces. While older frameworks were designed for the keyboard and mouse era, Kivy is touch-first. It has native, built-in support for multi-touch events. This means things like pinching to zoom, rotating with 2 fingers, or complex swiping gestures aren't hacks. They are core features. If you are building an app for a tablet, a smartphone, or a touchscreen medical device, Kivy understands those inputs natively without you needing to write complex math to track finger coordinates. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why choose Kivy over something like Pyqt or tkinter? Tkinter is great for simple, ugly desktop tools. It's built in, but it's not for mobile. Pyqt and PySide are professional powerhouses for desktop software, but getting them to run on a phone is a massive headache. Kivy sits in the sweet spot. It's Pythonic, it's fast due to GPU acceleration, and it's the most deployment-friendly framework for mobile. Beyond that, Kivy introduces the KV design language. Much like how web developers use HTML and CSS to separate logic from design, Kivy allows us to keep our Python code for the brains and our KV files for the beauty. This separation makes your code cleaner and much easier to maintain as your project grows. Now that we know why we're using Kivy, it's time to stop talking and start building. In the next section, we're going to assume you have nothing installed, no Python, no editors, and we'll take you to a working dynamic greeter in under 5 minutes. Let's get to the setup.
Alright, let's get our hands dirty. If you have nothing installed, your first stop is python.org. If you are on Windows, download the latest stable installer. Now pay close attention. When you run that installer, there is a tiny checkbox at the bottom that says Add Python to Path. Check that box. If you don't, your computer won't know what Python means when you type it into the command prompt later. If you are on macOS or Linux, you likely have Python already, but you can ensure you're up to date by using Homebrew or your local package manager like apt. Before we install Kivy, we need to talk about virtual environments. Imagine you're working on 3 different projects. One needs an old version of a library and another needs the newest one. If you install everything globally, they will fight and your system will break. A virtual environment, or venv, is a private sandbox for your project. To create one, open your terminal or command prompt and type python-m venv kivy_env. To enter that sandbox, you have to activate it. On Windows, that's kivy_env \scripts\activate. On Mac or Linux, it's source kivy_env/bin/activate. You'll know it worked because you'll see kivy_env appear next to your cursor. Now, anything we install stays right here in this folder. Now for the main event. With your environment active, we're going to use pip, Python's package manager. Type this command, pip install Kivy base. The base tag tells pip to grab the core framework along with the essential windowing and audio providers. If you want to see what Kivy is truly capable of, I also recommend installing the examples by typing pip install Kivy_examples. Depending on your internet speed, this might take a minute. Kivy is a big framework because it's packing a lot of power. While that's downloading, it's a great time to go grab a coffee, or if you're like me, stare at the progress bar until it hits 100%. Once the terminal gives you the green light, we need to verify the install. We don't even need to write a file yet. Just type python-c, import Kivy :print, open parenthesis Kivy dot, __ version __ close parenthesis. If you see a version number pop up, congratulations. You have successfully bypassed the hardest part of software development, the setup. You are officially a Kivy developer. In the final section of this video, we're going to write our very first dynamic greeter app and break down the code, line by line, so you understand exactly how a Kivy application breathes. Now let's build something interactive. Instead of just a static label, we're going to build an app that talks back to us. Open your favorite editor, I'm using VS Code, and let's look at the imports. We start by importing the app class. This is the heart of our program. Then we import our UI elements, a label for text, a text input for user input, a button for the action, and a box layout to hold them all together. In Kivy, we use a widget tree structure. Think of the layout as a box, and we are simply dropping our widgets into that box in the order we want them to appear. Inside our class, we have the build method. This is where the magic happens. First, we define our box layout. We set its orientation to vertical because we want our elements stacked from top to bottom. Next, we create our widgets. We have a text input where the user types their name, and a button. But a button is just a drawing until we give it a job. We use the bind method to link the buttons on press event to a custom function called greetUser. This tiny bit of logic is how Kivy handles interaction. When you tap that button, Kivy looks for this function, grabs the text from the input box, and updates the label instantly. Let's run it. When I type python main.py, a window pops up. Notice how the layout automatically adjusts? If I resize the window, Kivy recalculates the positions of the button and text box for us. I'll type my name Adrian into the box and hit greet. Boom, the label updates. This might look simple, but you've just mastered the fundamental loop of software: input, process, and output. What's even cooler? Because this is Kivy, this exact same Python file can now be packaged into an APK for Android or an IPA for iOS without changing a single line of the UI code. We've covered a lot today. We went from understanding why Kivy uses the GPU and OpenGL, to setting up a clean virtual environment, to finally building a reactive, interactive application. Kivy is a deep framework. There is a whole world of animations, touch gestures, and the Kivy design language that we haven't even touched yet. But for now, you have the foundation. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what you're planning to build. In the next video, we'll take this a step further and look at how to make our apps look professional using .kv styling files. Until then, happy coding.